When you think about car design, it's easy to picture a bunch of engineers in lab coats crunching numbers and making sure everything fits within strict factory guidelines. But then there's Chip Foose, a man who looks at an ordinary car and sees something no one else does: the potential for greatness. He doesn't just build cars. He brings them to life, transforming them into something so spectacular that they become more than just machines. They become art on wheels. So, let's dive into how Chip Foose turns ordinary cars into extraordinary works of art, one masterpiece at a time. Early influences, a creative spark. Chip Foose was practically born with a wrench in his hand. His father, Sam Foose, was a renowned car builder. So Chip grew up surrounded by tools, engines, and the sweet scent of motor oil. While most kids were figuring out how to ride a bike, Foose was learning the intricacies of classic car design. His father's influence sparked a creative fire in him, and he began sketching cars at a young age, imagining ways to make them better, faster, and more beautiful. Foose later honed his skills at the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California, where he studied transportation design. The combination of hands-on experience from his father's garage and formal design education gave Foose a unique ability to see cars in a way that others couldn't. He didn't just see a hunk of metal, he saw potential, and he had the skills to turn his vision into reality. The creative process. When Chip Foose looks at a car, he doesn't just see the dents, rust, or outdated features. He sees possibilities. Whether it's a classic muscle car or a forgotten rust bucket, Foose has a knack for imagining what a car could be. Take the 1932 Ford P32 Roadster, for example. When Foose got his hands on this car, it was just an old hot rod, nothing special, but he saw potential. Inspired by World War II fighter planes, he gave the car a sleek, aerodynamic design with riveted aluminum panels and a nose that looked like it belonged on a P-51 Mustang. It wasn't just a car anymore. It was a tribute to an era combining history with high-performance engineering. But, of course, not everything goes smoothly in the world of car customization. Working with older cars means dealing with rust, warped metal, and outdated parts that are almost impossible to find. In the case of the P32 Roadster, sourcing vintage aircraft materials and ensuring they worked within the car's frame was no easy feat. Foose's ability to problem solve and think on his feet, however, makes these challenges feel like speed bumps rather than roadblocks. One of Foose's signature moves is blending the old with the new. He loves working with classic cars, but he also isn't afraid to add modern touches, from cutting-edge technology to futuristic designs. His ability to balance the charm of vintage vehicles with the convenience of modern amenities is what sets him apart. Take the 1970 Dodge Challenger, nicknamed Tangerine Dream after its bold, vibrant paint job. Foose took this classic muscle car and gave it a complete overhaul. He kept the essence of the Challenger intact but upgraded the engine, added a modern suspension, and made the interior more comfortable and stylish. The difficulty here wasn't just the physical work. It was making sure that these modern updates didn't take away from the car's original character. Chip knows that purists love their classic cars for a reason. So it's a delicate balance between giving them what they want and giving the car a much-needed boost. And then there's the fact that some of these old parts simply don't play nice with new technology. Whether it's squeezing in a fuel injection system where a carburetor used to be or integrating a modern sound system into a dash built for an AM radio, Foose's job isn't just about design. It's about engineering too. But hey, if anyone can get an outdated suspension to coexist with a modern engine, it's Chip Foose. One of the finest examples of Foose's ability to blend classic and modern is his work on the 1969 Camaro, dubbed the Gambler. This car, with its iconic muscle car heritage, presented the perfect canvas for Foose's vision of fusing old-school power with cutting-edge performance. He retained the classic lines and aggressive stance that made the Camaro legendary but introduced a host of modern upgrades, including a high-performance LS3 engine and state-of-the-art suspension for a smoother ride. The interior was completely reimagined with custom leather seats, a sleek digital dash, and modern conveniences like air conditioning and power windows. Features unheard of in the original model. The challenge here was maintaining the Camaro's raw, untamed essence while integrating modern technology seamlessly. Foose managed to strike the perfect balance, turning the Gambler into a symbol of how past and present can coexist beautifully in a single machine. Attention to detail, where art meets engineering. If you've ever seen a car designed by Chip Foose, you know the devil is in the details. He's famous for his meticulous craftsmanship, where every line, every curve, every stitch matters. It's this dedication to detail that turns his creations into true works of art. The 1956 Ford F-100, lovingly called FD-100, is a prime example of this. Foose didn't just restore this old truck, he reinvented it. He re-engineered the chassis to make it handle like a modern sports car, redesigned the interior with custom leather seats and a hand-built dash, and gave it a flawless paint job that would make a showroom model blush. The challenges here were numerous. Old trucks like F-100 are heavy, bulky, and far from aerodynamic. To turn this truck into a modern-day speed demon, Foose had to shed weight, improve its handling, and make it safer, all while maintaining the truck's rugged charm. The result? A classic pickup that looks like it rolled out of 1956, but drives like it was born yesterday. Another shining example of Foose's meticulous attention to detail is the 2002 Thunderbird concept car. While the Thunderbird was already an iconic model, Foose took it a step further by reworking the design to embody a sleek, modern feel without losing the spirit of the original. He revamped the body lines, adding sharper, more aggressive contours, while the interior received custom upholstery and a redesigned dash that blended classic elements with a futuristic twist. The real challenge? Ensuring that these bold updates felt organic rather than forced. Foose painstakingly worked through every inch of the car, making sure that each change honored the Thunderbird's heritage while pushing its design into the 21st century. His ability to infuse innovation into a beloved classic turned this concept into a showcase of artistic and engineering precision. The overhauling factor. Of course, it's impossible to talk about Chip Foose without mentioning overhauling. The reality show, which aired on Discovery Channel, made him a household name. The premise? Take an unsuspecting car owner's beat-up ride and, with the help of a talented team, turn it into a show-stopping custom car, all in just a week. One of the most memorable transformations on overhauling was the 1965 Chevy Impala SS. When the car came in, it was a rusted-out shell. But Foose and his team had just 7 days to bring it back to life. Working around the clock, they installed a new engine, overhauled the suspension, gave the car a brand new paint job, and completely redid the interior. The biggest challenge? Time. In the world of overhauling, the clock is always ticking. Foose has admitted that one of the toughest parts of the job is balancing creativity with deadlines. While most custom builders can take months or even years to perfect a car, Foose often has just a matter of days. This means working through the night, coordinating with suppliers to get parts on time, and relying on a team of talented professionals to execute his vision flawlessly. And sure, there are moments when things don't go as planned, like when a part doesn't arrive on time or an engine refuses to cooperate. But somehow, Foose always pulls it off. Maybe it's because he genuinely loves what he does, or maybe it's because he's just that good. Famous projects, cars that became icons. Chip Foose's portfolio is nothing short of legendary, filled with cars that have gone from forgotten relics to masterpieces displayed at prestigious car shows. Each project is not just a restoration but a reinvention, with Foose's signature style evident in every curve and detail. Let's take a deeper dive into some of his most famous builds, where his expertise turned ordinary cars into globally admired icons. The 1939 Cadillac Madame X is a prime example of Foose's ability to bring a car's elegance to life while giving it a modern twist. Originally known for its classic Art Deco design, this car was already an important piece of automotive history. However, when Foose took on the challenge of revamping Madame X, he knew he had to preserve its vintage charm while enhancing its performance for contemporary standards. Foose redesigned the bodywork, ensuring that the car maintained its long, elegant lines, but with subtle changes like refined chrome accents and a lowered stance that gave it a more aggressive look. Underneath the hood, the 1939 Cadillac received a new, modern engine that brought it up to speed with today's performance standards. The real challenge here was maintaining the balance between the car's opulent 1930s roots and the high-performance expectations of modern times. The The result was a car that honored its legacy but was ready to compete in the modern world of custom builds, becoming a show-stopping centerpiece wherever it appeared. 1953 Cadillac Eldorado. Another standout project was the 1953 Cadillac Eldorado. This car had the unmistakable presence of a vintage Cadillac, known for its luxury and bulk. But when Foose took on this project, he turned it into something truly spectacular. The Eldorado retained its Cadillac elegance, but with a complete transformation under the hood and across the exterior. Foose chopped the roof to give the car a more streamlined, low-slung look and installed a high-performance LS1 engine, making it not just a beauty, but a beast on the road. The interiors were just as impressive, with custom-built leather seats, a reworked dashboard, and polished aluminum details that gave it a futuristic feel. The challenge with the Eldorado was integrating this modern power and sleek design into a car that was originally built to be a slow-moving luxury cruiser. But as always, Foose made it work, turning the Cadillac into a head-turning hot rod that brought vintage style and modern performance together seamlessly. 1971 Plymouth Barracuda. The 1971 Plymouth Barracuda, often referred to as Cuda, is one of the most beloved muscle cars in American history, and Foose's take on it is nothing short of spectacular. When he got his hands on this classic, Foose decided to maintain the aggressive stance and muscle car attitude, but he incorporated modern enhancements that took the performance and aesthetics to the next level. He began by reworking the body, giving it cleaner, more defined lines, while keeping the unmistakable 70s-era curves intact. Foose then upgraded the suspension and installed a supercharged Hemi engine, which provided the Barracuda with an insane boost in performance. Inside, the car was fitted with modern conveniences like air conditioning and high-end audio, while still respecting the Barracuda's muscle car roots with simple, sporty interior finishes. The difficulty here was not overwhelming the car's original muscle car spirit with too many modern touches. Muscle car fans are passionate about maintaining the original rawness of these vehicles, and Foose was able to walk that fine line between innovation and tradition. His Barracuda build ended up becoming one of the most celebrated muscle car restorations of the modern era, showcasing his ability to breathe new life into automotive legends without losing their soul. 1957 Chevy Bel Air Smoothster. Perhaps one of Foose's most iconic builds is the 1957 Chevy Bel Air, affectionately named Smoothster. The Bel Air is a car with an almost mythic reputation, beloved by collectors and car enthusiasts for its iconic design and mid-century Americana flair. When Foose took on the challenge of updating this classic, he decided to smooth out its lines, giving it a sleeker, more streamlined look. Hence the name Smoothster. The car's chrome details were reworked to be less prominent, while the body was stretched and lowered, giving it a more modern, refined appearance. The engine was replaced with a high-performance small-block V8, and the interior was reimagined with leather and custom-built components. The trickiest part of this build was maintaining the unmistakable identity of the Bel Air while bringing it into the modern age. Foose's Smoothster did exactly that, transforming the beloved 50s cruiser into a sleek, modern marvel that still retained the heart of the original. Each of these famous projects highlights Chip Foose's exceptional ability to take on cars with storied histories and transform them into something entirely new, while still honoring their original essence. Whether it's breathing new life into a luxurious Cadillac, giving muscle cars like the Barracuda or Camaro a high-performance edge, or reimagining a hot rod to resemble a fighter plane, Foose proves that there are no limits to automotive design. If you're fascinated by Chip Foose's incredible custom builds and want to explore more of the rarest cars he's ever designed, make sure to click on the video on the screen and dive deeper into the world of automotive artistry.